I hope you enjoy getting to dive into the scriptures and learn more about talking to God through prayer. And so here's what I want to do for a second. I want to help you learn something that somebody showed me. You see, because as a pastor, I didn't always nail this. I still struggled for the longest time communicating or talking with God. And then there was this one day somebody kind of gave me this illustration. And man, it helped me debunk so many lies that I believed about prayer. Because 412, here's what I want you to know. The enemy doesn't want you to talk with God. He doesn't want you connecting with God through prayer at all because he knows that prayer is powerful. Prayer can move mountains in your life. Prayer can help you release worry. Prayer is heard by God and is powerful, and he does not want you praying. So the enemy will maybe make you believe lies that'll keep you from praying to God. And some of those lies were very lies that I believed myself until one day someone showed me this illustration. And here it is. I'm going to stand up and kind of show you. Imagine there are two chairs and God is sitting in one of them. And I used to always think that God's chair was never occupied because, one, God was too busy. It's like this. Here's God's chair, but it's sitting there, but he's standing behind it. He's pacing back and forth. He's on the phone. He's got presidents and bigwigs. He's got pastors to deal with. He's got people who are in hospitals. He's helping doctors and nurses and all these people. But he doesn't have time for me. I was just a middle school student, or I'm just I felt like a nobody. And so, man, God doesn't have time for me. And so, you know what? Because I believe that lie, man, I wouldn't even talk to God because he doesn't care. He's too busy. It'd be like I'm calling, he would never answer. But that's not true, 412, because you know what? We serve a God who's not bound by time or space, and he wants to spend time with you and me, and you have the full attention of the God of the universe. That is the God that we serve. Yeah, if no one else would want to listen to you, God listens to you, and he is aware, and he begs us, and he calls out in his word for us to cry out to him and talk to him. But not only did I think God didn't have time for me, which I later found out wasn't true, I also used to think this, that God was standing behind his chair with his arms crossed and like a scowl on his face, like ready to just give it to me. Like yell at me, he's mad at me. Like he was frustrated or upset because maybe that day I'd sinned, or maybe I was just struggling and I just thought God was never pleased with me. But that's not true. Because that's not what his word says. His word says that he has forgiven you through Christ. And you and I have access to them. And he invites us to come to the throne of God and present our request, what's going on, our pleas to him. And he's always got an ear. Actually, do you know what it's like, 412? It's God sitting in his chair, leaning forward with his full attention, waiting for you and I to come to him. But so often, you and I, we believe lies that keep us from coming to God and talking to him. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to read. I'm going to give you some more scriptures. But I'm also going to ask you to maybe identify some of the lies that you believe about prayer. Maybe it's God doesn't have time for me. Maybe it's I don't think God cares. Maybe it's I've got to be better before I can talk to God because I think he's going to be mad at me. What are some of those lies that the enemy is telling you? Maybe the enemy is telling you prayer doesn't work. God doesn't care. He doesn't listen. Whatever that is, I want you to write that down. And then I want you to look at a few scriptures and see what they say about God's attention towards you and me as we talk with him in